live post-game concert by 90s icons Vanilla Ice, Tone Loc, Tag Team, and Tretch from Naughty by Nature. Watch from your seat or score a field pass to get even closer to the action. Get your tickets to see I Love the 90s at Orioles.com/music.
Woohoo! Save thousands below MSRP at Anderson Buick GMC. Shop Maryland's largest selection and deepest discounts at 2 convenient Anderson locations, Hunt Valley and Abingdon. Take up to $5,000 off GMC Acadias or get 0% APR for 60 months on Buick Envisions. And every month is Trunk Month at Anderson. Take up to $11,500 off Sierra pickups. Now that's smiles for miles. Check out AndersonBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade. Financing on select models with approved credit through GM Financial.
This broadcast was presented by Bet365, where winning is everything. Download the Bet365 app and lock in your picks before the game begins. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in select states only.
If you're thinking about it,
every day,
we're talking about it.
That's what I'm talking about.
105.7 The Fan.
Selling your home is a big decision. Vinny Stio makes it simple with the Your Home Sold guarantee. Your home sold or he'll buy it. That's peace of mind you can count on. Call Vinny today. 410-793-1801. 410-793-1801.
Did you know that driving under the influence of marijuana is illegal? Driving high will get you a DUI. And if you're wondering if law enforcement can tell you're driving high, well, everyone else can. Friends?
I can tell you drove high.
Parents?
I can tell when you drive high.
Relatives?
I can tell. You drove here high, didn't you?
So what makes you think law enforcement can't?
I can tell.
If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high, get a DUI. Paid for by NHTSA.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Cordell and Ben on Fresh Take.
100%. I mean, just based on the video. Also, the Hawkeye had it fair, like in the dugout. Like there was no, like looking at the video, the view from where the camera was pointing straight down the line. From what it looked like, I mean, it was to the right of the yellow and the pulse. So I thought it was fair. But what I was told is there was, in order to overturn a call, you need to have 2 camera angles to confirm it. But best view, there's the only view that shows the ball fair fouls, the one down the line, but no other camera angle is available. So there, I mean, video room ruled a foul. Umpire obviously called a foul initially. It is what it is. I mean, the video room and umpire at third base. I mean, they called a foul. That's the only opinions that really matter.
Money. That's it. I mean, that's literally it. You ask every fan of this game that's a true fan, every single fan would want those cameras. If you ask every single player, they would want those cameras. If you ask every coach, they want the cameras. It costs money. That's it. And that's literally it.
Chris Bassett there, along with Pete Alonso, who hit a ball that I think all of us here in Baltimore believe is a home run. And I know it's been talked about all day long, but I'm going to have to continue it here. Ben Hall here with the Fresh Take. Cordell Woodland is out. He will be back next week with me. So it's just me riding solo for the next hour and a half. We'll take you up till 8. We'll get to some Orioles. We'll definitely have to start with this. Then we'll get to Ravens. They were in Minnesota today. Have a lot of stuff. Have some audio we can play. Just a ton of stuff to talk about. It'll be more Ravens than Orioles because here soon at 6:55, the Orioles game will be getting underway. But yeah, the common topic of the day, Pete Alonso getting robbed of what looked like a home run in real time, on replay, and all night long. I mean, there wasn't a replay I saw that made me think that was a foul ball. But because this league doesn't have the technology in 2026 to figure out what we're doing, a call that was crucial stands. In this time, we made sure we get balls and strikes right. Each team gets ABS challenge. They tested it in the minor leagues for a few years. You're able to challenge outs at first, second, third. You're able to challenge everything. But for some reason, we don't have any way to tell if a ball cleared the foul pole, if it went foul just before it. We don't know when the ball is crossing. To me, that is bizarre. Major League Baseball has got to fix this. And it's not just an Orioles issue with them getting screwed. I know we have Nate McLouth against the Yankees a long time ago, but how is this still happening in 2026? It's incredibly frustrating. As ticket prices are going up at every ballpark around Major League Baseball, we have to deal with close calls like that in a crucial game. Orioles missed the playoff race by a half a game or a game. They miss out on the final wild card spot by a game. We can look back on this one and say, there it was. Now, they have their own issues. They should have won a number of more games than the umpires and the replay center. They don't have to do with a lot of the losses. But last night in a crucial game 2 of a series against a divisional rival in a really, really good baseball game, we had the replay review center completely screw the Orioles. That's just what it is. And to get away from the review, why don't we have anything that can just tell us for sure if it crossed or not? It would make things so much more simple for the players, for coaches, for umpires. Because then right after you have the MLB Umpire Association come out and say that they didn't have definitive evidence that that ball had crossed the foul pole. Well, the video that we saw looked pretty clear to me. It looked pretty damn clear that was a fair ball. If you're not going to get it right on the field, get it right when you challenge it. When they challenge and when you take a look at that, you have to get that call right in that spot in that type of game. But because they didn't have 2 cameras, according to Pete Alonso, he said post-game they needed 2 different camera angles to show that was a fair ball. I saw one that looked pretty fair. And on top of all of it, if you look at ball tracking data and a lot of other things where you can see exact plane where that ball crossed, it was a fair ball. But because we don't have 2 camera angles in the year 2026, I'm going to keep saying it, because to me, this should not be an issue. We should not have to worry about this at this point in time. But we still do. And how many more screw-ups from the replay center, from umpires in general, how many more of those is it going to take before we change things? I mean, it is infuriating that we're still dealing with this. And I'm not saying that's the only reason the Orioles lost. Bullpen came in, wasn't able to keep the game tied. You can put a lot of blame on them. But I don't know how the game finishes if the Orioles take a 1-run lead there. Lots of emotion goes into that. Momentum, all types of different things. Instead, you get a foul ball. Pete Alonso has to reset, ends up striking out. And there it was. Look at the reaction from the Orioles dugout. Everybody on that side of the line thought that ball was fair. On the right side, first base side of home plate, thought that ball was fair. Craig Alvarez didn't even think before he walked out and said, take a look at that. And I would like to say, I probably would have liked to seen Albie argue more. I mean, I know it's the replay center who we should be frustrated with, but man, you can't get that one wrong. I would be letting the third base umpire hear it. I'd let the home base umpire hear it. I would show everybody in that dugout, I'm going to get tossed for this one. It's a tight game. I know he wants to stay in it. But still, man, I would have been out there losing my mind. And the camera panned to him. I was at the game. He looked pretty damn frustrated. I would have gotten tossed there. The stakes of that game, how important it is right now when you're knotted up with 5 different teams for 1 wild card spot. And the difference in that inning, again, they lose by 2. History could be different if that ball clears the foul pole like we all thought it did. And I still do. I haven't seen a camera angle that tells me otherwise. I know there's Yankee fans pushing the one angle that's closer to home plate. You can't see it that way. The other one shows it clear. And then you look at the tracking of the baseball, and it stayed inside the foul line the entire time. And Pete Alonso postgame made a great point. Like, we don't have a laser. We don't have anything that can tell us this. Or a different type of camera. And Chris Bassett hit the nail on the head. Why don't we have this money? We're going to jack prices up at the stadiums for every ballpark. We're going to change a lot of different things in this game. Jerseys are more expensive. Everything in baseball is more expensive. But we're still old-fashioned in the fact that we cannot figure out if a ball is fair or foul clearing the foul pole. Every single angle you saw told you that would have hit the foul pole if it was higher up. At least. It might have came inside of it. But it ends up standing, which again that's my issue. Not only do I have an issue with the replay not fixing it and the replay not being able to tell where it is, no data, no advanced metrics to tell us, like, how can you not figure that out in 2026? I just can't get my head around that. But on top of all of it, I don't think you needed a laser or you needed a ball tracking device to tell you that that ball was fair. Just watch the damn camera angle and see exactly what happened. They're standing there and then everybody in the crowd's reacting, excited. And I'm still like, somehow they'll let this one stand. And they did just that. Complete joke from the umpires, the Umpire Association, Replay Review Center, everybody a part of it. Just a complete joke. And of course, where is that? New York. Don't even get me started. Do not even get me started. It feels like every time there's a replay review like that, a tight one, the Orioles, it stands. We don't have the balls to tell you straight up that we thought this was fair, we thought this was foul. We can't tell the evidence. No, I could tell the evidence. That was a fair damn ball. Should have been a home run. The Orioles go up 4-3 there, but instead, here we are, complaining, calling it out. And I know we've done it all day. People have done it all day, but I had to get it off my chest because I was furious last night. And not just as an Orioles fan, as a baseball fan. In a tight, crucial game, we should not be screwing that up, especially when you go to replay. Why do you have replay available if you're not going to get it right? You just can't defend what Major League Baseball did last night. You can't. The camera angle told us, so that should have been changed as it was. And on top of all of it, we don't have anything that can definitively say this was a fair foul ball in this year. Unbelievable. I mean, again, I could go on all night, but I should calm down, slow it down. We will get to Ravens. We'll continue talking Orioles. Here, though, a tough loss last night for the Birds. And in game 2, you had to take down one against Will Warren. The Yankees' rotation has been awesome. Their offense has sucked, but the rotation's been awesome. Last night was the night to get to him. Will Warren, ERA above 4, has not been good all season. Last year he was really good, fallen off a bit this season, and all of a sudden, Orioles didn't get to him as much as we would have liked. They were able to, score a few. 3-3 game, I would have liked to see them pile on a little more. And then after game 1, you only score 1 run. And then you get Garrett Cole tonight, who hasn't been amazing, but I'm not sure they're going to break out. They looked really, really good in Tampa. Feels sort of like a one-off to me. You expected the Yankees to give them issues, but being on the ropes here, chance for them to sweep you just after coming into Monday morning. You got the final spot, sole possession, the fan base is bought in, you feel good, and you have the Yankees walk into town and just beat you so far. I mean, it is what it is. And they've been tight games. Both games came down to the bullpen giving up 2 runs. Boz gets pulled at 104. I didn't have an issue with it. I don't know that Josh Walker was my option, especially when he had pitched in 4 and 5 nights before. That's game 1. And then last night, Cam Sanders, who's been awesome for the Birds. I don't want to take anything away from Cam Sanders, but hits a few guys. They pull him, go to Yennier Cano. And my issue is, how do you fault Cano there? Through a perfect pitch, Lombard can run. Through a perfect pitch, got the soft contact that he wanted. The next play is the issue. I mean, Pozo behind the plate, who's been fun, he just falls asleep. He's set up to block. The ball's still rolling around, and he's just sitting there. Jazz Chisholm gets a great read. As soon as he saw the ball was going to be in the dirt, he took off, slides into home plate for a run. So the bullpen struggles again. I think it's going to be, just as it is for the team as a whole, the bullpen's going to be a roller coaster ride all year long. Nothing's going to change with that. And we have to know that and expect that just with how this team is built. It's only going to get more of a roller coaster when Felix Bautista and Ryan Helsley get back, if Helsley's back. Nobody liked Bautista more than me. I mean, Bautista he's one of the most fun players to watch in baseball. That being said, he came off of Tommy John last year and now has the shoulder, both surgeries on the shoulder. Coming into this, I don't know what to expect. And I think with the way their bullpen's set up, he's going to be put into leverage spots right away. See what he can do. And I think Felix has that calm sense for it. But again, it's really hard for a guy to miss as much time. And in the middle of a race, when these games are that much more important, him to just get chucked out there. So we'll see. Hopefully the bullpen can even itself out. Cam Sanders, you're hoping. Last night was more of a one-off. I know walks and a little bit of struggles with control have hurt him. And that's the reason the Orioles were able to get him for cash considerations. You were thinking with high leverage, adrenaline running, maybe this was what the high leverage Cam Sanders was more of what he was compared to what we saw last night. And even last night, again, he's one pitch away from getting out of it. 1 out away. They pull him, which you have no issue with. Cano gets a soft contact, but you need things to go right for you there when you're in this spot. The Yankees didn't need that win nearly as much as the Orioles. Coming into it, scuffling a little bit, you're like, all right, take advantage. Now you've lost 2 and you're on the ropes tonight. The good thing is you get Bradish out there. You got to face Cole, which you don't like, but I think they'll be able to get to Bradish. 410-583-1057 is the number. Do want to take your phone calls. Bird call coming up next. As I said, 7 o'clock, we'll talk about Ravens training camp, being in Minneapolis, how the team has looked, what we've heard from people who are there. I know Vinny Serrato's been all across the station because he has been out there live for practices. 7:15, we'll get to some more audio. But again, coming up next, 410-583-1057. It's the Bird Call on the Fresh Take.
If you're thinking about it,
every day,
we're talking about it.
That's what I'm talking about.
105.7 The Fan.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/music. That's ethos.com/music. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
In the military, the mission was clear. You knew what to do. Now, the mission has changed. Stepping into civilian life isn't about finding a job. It's finding your purpose.
I wanted a career that would leverage the skills and discipline I gained in the military. IT just felt right.
My Computer Career offers class schedules that fit into your life and skills in high demand. Put your VA benefits to work. Visit mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to jumpstart your IT career today. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Ever notice how the little things add up? A cracked phone screen, a dead car battery, bills creeping higher.
Oh, no.
What if your checking account could actually help with all that? It can. With Elite Checking from NASA Federal, you get smart benefits designed to save you time, money, and stress. Like get your paycheck up to 2 days early for a little breathing room. Cell phone protection to cover unexpected damage, roadside assistance for breakdowns, bill negotiation to help lower your bills, identity theft aid for peace of mind, and you can earn dividends on your balance. If your checking account isn't working hard for you, switch to Elite Checking from NASA Federal. You can do it all right online at nasafcu.com/WJZ. And you don't have to work for NASA to join NASA Federal. NASA Federal Credit Union. Smart. NASA smart. Federally insured by NCUA.
Treat yourself this summer and taste the Baltimore tradition that is the legendary Costas Inn. For over 55 years, the Costas Inn's been a Baltimore original, dishing out their legendary, fat, delicious, award-winning crab cakes. And if you haven't visited the newest Costas Inn location at the Fairgrounds in Timonium, it's on the second floor of the grandstand, and now's the time to check it out. Enjoy your favorites from the original Costas Inn, plus tons of TVs with live sports and a new draft system holding 12 beers on tap. Check out either Costas Inn today, and when you do, make sure you tell them Jeremy Kahn sent you.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at Amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTRCM.
Cordell and Ben on Fresh Take.
Yes, Cordell and Ben on Fresh Take. Ben Hall riding solo tonight. Cordell Woodland should be back next week. We'll be together for that. And then the following week, I'll be out. So schedules are going to be a little bit all over the place as we inch closer to the football season. But 410-583-1057, it's the Bird Call. We will take your phone calls. Now let's go out to Mark in Linthicum. Let's talk Pete Alonso. What's going on, Mark?
Hey, Ben. Yeah, Oriole fan here, obviously. But I do want to say that the perspective, while the first perspective we saw, the first replay, looked like fair, I think it was real. When you look at the second replay, I really think it was 50-50. And the biggest difference is Jim Palmer last night actually said the ball hits off the 3 in the Yankee part of the scoreboard where the Yankee score was and said it must have been fair. But when you look at that second camera shot, that spot where the ball hit was well foul. The 3 is well foul on the second camera angle. So at best it was 50-50. Could have went either way, but it definitely was not an obvious home run. Just my opinion.
Yeah, appreciate the call, Mark. And I hear you. The second angle was the one that went viral last night. And I know it's behind home plate. It's more on the first base side or closer to home plate than the other one. To me, still, my issue is the ball tracking data. When you look at the exact line of the ball from home plate to where it landed, everything said fair. I think cameras, again, I had a different opinion than you. I can hear watching the second angle 100%. I mean, if you look at the first angle, there's no argument whether it's fair or foul. And I had the conversation with my dad because he was the same way as you, where it's 50-50, not exactly sure. But when you start looking at the ball tracking data that they have, that's what's so infuriating to me. So we have the ball tracking data, but we aren't able to use it and figure out what's fair or foul in this day and age. But I hear you. I know the exact camera angle you're talking about. I know there were a lot of Yankees fans who were posting it today like, well, this angle makes it look foul. Still, to me, that angle itself looked like it would have hit the foul pole. But again, we don't know. This is something that should be a simple fix. It just costs a little bit of money for a multi-billion-dollar organization, a multi-billion-dollar league that's competing with other leagues, and other leagues have done things to fix this. We all see the things that the NFL does for first downs. You can tell exactly how far the ball is. And I'm not saying put a chip in it. These balls are hit too hard, they're thrown too hard. There's a lot of there. But maybe a laser, however it is. And Alonso pointed that out last night. I just think that there has to be something to figure out, that we don't have to have this conversation, Mark, that we don't have to talk about two different camera angles. There is ball tracking data. There are so many things in this day and age that should be able to fix this for us so we don't have to rely on a close camera angle compared to what we do. And again, my issue more is why have the replay if you're not going to? But again, to your point, they might have thought it was 50-50 too. They said it last night. They said the first angle looked like it was clearly fair and the other one didn't tell us. 410-583-1057. Let's go back out to the phone lines now. Chris in Catonsville. What's going on, Chris?
Yeah, I finally got to see the thing on TV about an hour and a half ago. And the where the ball landed was 4 seats or 5 seats fair. Each seat is 30 inches. 30 inches times 4 is 120. That's 10 feet fair. How the hell? They can go down to an eighth of an inch if the ball got the black of the plate. How can they go down to an eighth of an inch if a ball is a strike or a ball, but a ball that is at least 8, if not 10 feet fair, oh, well, we didn't have a second camera to verify it. That is so bullshit. It's like, get your heads out of your asses and look.
Yeah, appreciate the call there, Chris. I agree. 100%. Had to, don't be there. Sorry. Can't cost. But yeah, it was BS. In no world Should we be able to change a call that? And we all see it with the ABS system. They zoom in super close and it's less than an inch. It's that tight, whether it's a strike or a ball. We can change that call. But the ball that goes over or just inside or just outside of the home run, and again, I'm harping on it because it was the Orioles. But this happens around the league. This has happened for years. MLB has tried to get as transparent as they can and as fair as they can with some of these new replays and challenges and all of these different things, but it's still an issue. And last night, it was just evident. It was clear. And yeah, I agree. I thought it landed fair too. It's tough though because of angles and where the ball does cross the line. But yeah, I thought that it landed fair. I thought that it was fair. And again, I keep talking about it. There is a direct tracker of where that ball was hit and where it finished. Fair ball. But the MLB doesn't have that. They're looking at 2 camera angles like it's similar to 2005, 2006, and there wasn't challenge then, but that's what the same type of technology we're using for something that should have been fixed so damn long ago. Because people complain about stuff like this every year. And again, in next week or the week after, it probably will be done. But I will tell you one thing. If it's the end of September and the Orioles are a half game out or missed by a half game and would have been in with or missed by a game and would have been in with a win, I will absolutely be talking about this because this game was a difference maker. But at the same time, I'll be talking about 15 to 21 run games or 15 to 22 run games that felt like they had in their hands that they gave away. And that's why it sucks for me because they didn't play a great baseball game last night. But they were able to battle back. You tied at 3. Pete Alonso, who's been he's been the superstar they signed, and I feel like that should be another talking point we have here. Pete Alonso's been a damn bulldog, playing through injury, giving them exactly what they hoped for when they signed him to the big deal. After the first few weeks of the season when everybody's like, what is this? What's going on? Like, Pete Alonso has just been a damn stud for this Orioles team. He delivers what should be the biggest swing of the game and turns into a foul ball. And again, I don't think people understand the difficulties of the emotion. You get your pitch, you drive it, smash it. And Pete was doing everything that he could to reset. I'm watching him. He's watching the replay, doing his bat tap on the shoulder. You know how he always does. Doing everything he can to settle down. All right, relax. Because he knew that there was a chance that it did stand. Pete trying to lock in. But again, it's so damn tough to smash a baseball, reset, have the long wait that he did. And at the same time, Hendricks, all right, I just threw this pitch. He beat me on that. Let me reset and move away from that. Let me throw a different, let me move the pitch around. Let me throw in a different tunnel, move away from it. Like, there's just so many different things that go into it, but it felt like that swing could make or break the game. Seeing the replay now on ESPN again makes me angry. I just don't understand why we don't have technology to figure this out. It would save me talking for the first 2 segments of a show because data could have told me I was wrong. I don't think it would have at all. But this camera or this laser, however they do it, could have proved me wrong or right. It would have been a home run. We don't have the conversation. We're talking about how big of a swing it was for Pete. They call it foul. We're talking about how close it was, but it was a foul ball. Instead, here we are. Thank you, baseball. Maybe next year during the big holdout, we can fix that into the CBA. How about you guys pay some real money with as much money you're making every year off of fans and fix the game a little bit so fans don't have to complain about this? Just unbelievable. Unbelievable. 410-583-1057 is the number. 7:30 we will get to, or 7:15 we will get to Ravens audio, what we've heard from Jesse Minter and a few players in Minnesota. 7:30, as always, we'll go from what we miss, as we have just one show a week, miss a few things for those 7 days leading or 6 days leading up. We always get to a few things. It's more national stuff compared to local stuff. But coming up next, we will recap what we've heard, what we've seen, all of those things from the Ravens joint practices in Minneapolis. That's coming up next on the Fresh Take.
What happens next happens here. Baltimore Sports Radio.
That ball is out of here.
105.7 The Fan.
Summer savings start now at Bob Bell Kia's Summer Sell-a-thon. Drive home in one of 5 amazing Kia models priced under $30K. Whatever your credit situation, we are here to help. Visit BobBellKia.com or call 410-288-2500 today.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons. And lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen. And oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live. And you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
The success you've had in life matters. The late nights, the extra shifts, the moments you've stood up and said, I've got this. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we value your achievements because we're a school for real life. With UMGC, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and relevant life and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer scholarships, affordable tuition, and online and hybrid classes, all with the support you need from your first day to graduation day and beyond. As an accredited state university, we've been transforming lives for over 75 years. Choose from more than 100 undergraduate and graduate degrees and certificates, and get ready to succeed again. At UMGC, we believe nothing should stand in the way of your next achievement. Not doubt, not your life stage, and especially not an application fee. Just apply by September 1st and we'll waive your application fee. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Football is back! Make sure you head down to the Bet River Sportsbook at Bingo World, the best place to catch all your college and professional football games this season. With over 20 TVs, comfortable lounge chairs, pool tables, great happy hour specials, and wall-to-wall football action, there's no better place to spend your football weekends. Grab your friends, catch every game, and get in on the excitement all season long. Check out BingoWorld.com for details. Please play responsibly. Must be 21 or over. For help, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit mdgamblinghelp.org.
Hey, Maryland, it's our election. There are 3 ways to vote. Election Day, November 3rd, early voting, October 22nd through the 29th, or by mail at a drop box, post office, or a local board of elections. Check your registration, ballot, and polling place information at vote.md.gov/vote2026. For trusted information on registration deadlines and voting options, download the Go Vote MD app. Sponsored by the Maryland State Board of Elections and the Maryland, D.C., Delaware Broadcast Association in cooperation with this station.
That'll be 5452.
Perfect. Grab the bags, honey.
Mom, why do you always check your phone before we pay?
I'm just claiming my cash back on the Upside app. Since we're getting a $10 bonus on groceries here and we filled up the car on the way, we already earned enough this morning to pay for some extra treats you can bring to school this week.
Wait, so the app pays for snacks?
Not exactly, but the cash I earn on stuff we need helps us pay for the stuff we want. It's just a little win for our family every week.
With Upside, you can earn cash back on your everyday essentials and back-to-school favorites. The free app also gets you cash back on routine purchases like gas and dining out at more than 100,000 locations nationwide. No points, no rebates, just cash back straight to your wallet. Download the free Upside app and use promo code SCHOOL10 to get a $10 bonus on your first purchase. That's promo code SCHOOL10 to get a $10 bonus. Remember, use promo code SCHOOL10.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
This is WJZ-FM, Catonsville, Baltimore's sports talk at 105.7 The Fan, and always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Fresh Take with Cordell Woodland and Ben Hall on Sports Radio 105.7 The Fan.
First of all, I just want to start off thanking Kevin O'Connell, the Vikings organization, just for the setup, for the opportunity to come here and practice, our operations staff, everybody that allowed us to travel yesterday, come here. We look forward to having another really good day with these guys tomorrow, and a lot of good stuff out there, a lot of things to learn from. Told the guys, really just when you do that, you know, every rep is now a learning opportunity to come back this afternoon, watch the film, try to get better. And so a lot of good stuff.
Yes, Jesse Minter there talking about the joint practices, thanking Kevin O'Connell for setting things up. And I do want to start by saying, growing up, I always really enjoyed the camp fights, and I always thought it was fun. And I still sometimes enjoy watching them, but like, it does feel like at times it just gets carried away and it takes over for what could be a good practice and good work against teams. And you're looking all around the league right now. I mean, the Cowboys, Saints, whatever they have going on there, all around the league, there are issues with these joint practice fights. And a lot of people and coaches and teams frustrated with what's going on. For the most part here, it felt like these guys were locked in. I know Keon Martin reportedly had thrown a punch yesterday. He was frustrated. Someone stood over him in drills. I am very pleased with what I've heard in the fighting stance because, again, nowadays, like, I don't need a guy getting hurt because a fight started. They've been relatively healthy, and I know we're going to get to the Danny Pinter injury in just a minute, but they've been relatively healthy through training camp. Guys have gone down, and you've been really scared. The Nate Wiggins one was one of the biggest worries, but Nate Wiggins ended up being just fine. He's already back on the practice field, and that's a guy who people have been talking up, especially these joint practices. I did want to say, for the Ravens, this is the perfect opportunity for a joint practice. This is the perfect team to do it with. You get Kevin O'Connell, who's one of the best play callers in the game. He's a head coach, calls the plays for the Vikings. We know just how good their offense can be. J.J. McCarthy held them back a little bit last year. We'll see how things go with Kyler Murray. But Kevin O'Connell won a Super Bowl as an offensive coordinator with McVay. I know McVay handles things there for the Rams, but many people view Kevin O'Connell super highly in terms of an offensive mind. And then on the flip side, Brian Flores is calling defense for Minnesota. So you have two experienced, highly viewed play callers on both sides of the ball that you're going up against for a team that needs this type of thing. A lot of questions with the offensive line. Tons. We've talked about it coming in, even with the additions and Venga being the draft pick, bringing John Simpson back, losing Tyler Linderbaum. We're still trying to figure out what's going on at center. But who is a better person to prepare for different types of rushes and all of those things than Brian Flores? A guy who you know was going to bring pressure. I love this for the Ravens. This is a perfect opportunity for these guys to learn. And I know there's been some good and some bad that we're hearing. That'll be every joint practice around the NFL. They weren't going to dominate start to finish both days. That just was never going to happen. But Brian Flores will give them some issues, some things that they need to fix and look at. And same thing with Kevin O'Connell. I think the defense had more success than the offense. And to be quite honest with you, that's what I've seen at Ravens training camp. So now with the joint practice, with that standing out there, I mean, it's kind of telling. I think this defense is a step ahead of the offense. And we kind of expected that with Jesse Minter taking over. Once regular season starts and Lamar Jackson's kind of in that zone, we'll see if we're still having these same conversations. But yeah, I really like Brian Flores being a guy that this offense, especially the offensive line, has to prepare for and gets 2 days to do it in joint practices ahead of Saturday's game. This is a really good opportunity for him. There aren't many teams around the league that I can look at and say in terms of play calling, you'd rather have them be tested with. I think Kevin O'Connell and Brian Flores are the perfect two guys for the Ravens offense and defense to go up against. Now, the playmakers, wide receiver room, we know how dangerous that is. The quarterback position, big time question mark. We know that for Minnesota. But this defense gets after the quarterback. I think this, again, I'll say it, this offensive line could really, really, really benefit from seeing a Brian Flores-led defense and figuring out all types of things against these rush packages. Really, really good for the Ravens. So I do like that the Vikings are the team that they get to do a joint practice with, and they'll be with the Commanders next week. It's closed to fans. Cordell and I will be out there for it. We'll give you everything we hear, everything we see next week on Thursday's show, so be sure to tune into that. But yeah, not any fans are going to be there, so it'll just be Washington and Baltimore's media group, people who cover the team. I'm really, really excited for that because joint practices are much more telling for me than just the regular training camp practices. It should be a very fun watch. Again, hopefully they stay relatively fine. Compete on the field, maybe a few small dust-ups, but for the most part, we don't need any brawls. I don't like it as much as I used to growing up. The fighting was much more fun when I was younger. Not as much now. But what have we heard from this? Again, I said it before. I think the Ravens defense had success. Some of that probably was Kyler Murray / J.J. McCarthy doing whatever they were. But honestly, I don't love what I heard from the offense. I think the wide receiver group, Rashad Bateman had some flash, which you love to hear. Rashad Bateman's a common name talked about on these airwaves because we saw what he did 2 years ago. Can he get close to back to that, and you're probably going to need that with the way this wide receiver room looks. I'm on board with Jacoby Lane. I'm with everybody else. I am buying the hype. But there's going to be adjustments to Jacoby Lane, and he's still a rookie, and who knows if his snap count will be as high as we all expect. They need Rashad Bateman to make plays. They need him to pick up crucial catches, and in the red zone, I need him to be a real factor. I'd like to see Zay score more touchdowns too, but what made Rashad Bateman's 2024 so damn special was his ability to finish in the end zone. Sounds like he had a good day. The Ravens defense had another strong showing, as I said. I don't expect a lot of worry with the Ravens defense. I don't know that playmakers were always the issue for them. I don't think so last year either. Communication was an issue. I think coaching was an issue. But now, with where we're at, Jesse Minter, the big check with him is he should be able to fix this defense. He's going to call plays. Now, how long does that last? I would guess a few seasons. And it's a little different with defense, but Andy Reid's still calling plays for the Chiefs offense. It's nice having your head coach able to do that, but if he needs a little bit more taken off his plate in a few years, as he's been around a little bit and gets a little more comfortable with whoever he hires as the next defensive coordinator, because Anthony Weaver, to be quite honest with you, if this defense can have the success we're expecting, I don't know how long Anthony Weaver's here. He's been second in line for a number of head coaching jobs. He's wanted a head coaching job. As long as this defense is as successful as we think, it probably will be a 1 to 2 year reunion in Baltimore for Anthony Weaver. And that's good for him. You root for a guy like that, spent time playing here, who's been a coach here for a number of years, and then returns. I think Anthony Weaver is going to get a head coaching opportunity somewhere else in the near future. But I like that we're hearing Trey Hendrickson out there making plays, because that's the expectation. You paid him a ton of money to get out there and go make plays. This has to be a collective unit for this team to have success. Pass rushers have to get to the quarterback to make things easier for the secondary. And last year, I think that's where they lacked. They struggled to get to the quarterback, and covering a dude for way more than his regular original route is tough. The scramble drill against dudes like Aaron Rodgers is infuriating. And it sounds like for the most part, this Ravens team held them in check. I know yesterday there was talk 2-minute drill, they struggled, but then I also heard that the Vikings kind of played through what would have been a sack late down there. I didn't love hearing that they struggled in 2-minute, because that was one of the big things, the point of emphasis from Jesse Minter coming in. We need to be at our best when our best is needed. Adding a Trey Hendrickson, a dude who can wreck a game, finish things on a 3rd or 4th and long, that's good. But I heard a lot of good things about Nate Wiggins, Marlon Humphrey, Keon Martin. Keon Martin is a playmaker. He's a gamer. He just makes plays. It's awesome to see a guy who was an undrafted free agent who had so many people write him off. And even last year for the first half, it's like, as good as he's playing, I think with the way this roster is set, I think he's going to have to sneak onto the practice squad. No, he makes the team and then plays pretty well in special teams. And now I think he's going to get some snaps with the defense this year. I really do. Chandler Rivers, who Cordell and I had on last week, I think he could get snaps. This is a much better cornerback room than it was last year, I'd say. And I don't know that it's all with the additions. Like Chandler Rivers is a day 3 pick. Keon Martin was here last year, but you get another season. Marlon Humphrey was here last year, but it's a different year. We know his every other year success. Nate Wiggins was here last year, and he played through injury, he said, and he really, really struggled. But Nate Wiggins, I think we all know, is your cornerback 1, and they need him to be great. Awuzie's back. You hope he's a little bit more healthy. But yeah, there was a lot of good talk with the defense, a little bit more quiet with the offense. I think Zay made some plays. Bateman, again, the wide receiver group sounds like it's making plays. Jacoby Lane continues to eat. I don't know that we'll get that taken away from us until the regular season starts. And even then, at this point, I don't know that we should expect Jacoby Lane to fall off the face. I don't know that he's going to be head tapping somebody every practice or every game, week by week, but Jacoby Lane can make plays, and he does a lot of different things well. So I'm excited to see Jacoby Lane once the season gets here. Coming up next, we will continue to talk about these joint practices. We'll get to a little bit more audio, a Coming up following that, the 7:30 segment, what we missed. Bring Mike Pope on to discuss things we missed around MLB, NFL, NBA, so many different things we missed. But as I said, coming up next on the Fresh Take, Ravens audio and more updates from the joint practices with the Vikings.
Wherever the Orioles season takes you.
Say goodbye to this ball.
Download the free Odyssey app and hear reactions to all the biggest moments. Download it today and search 1057 The Fan.
If you dread dealing with your insurance company more than you dread build-it-yourself furniture that came in 47 different pieces.
Why do I have 6 extra screws?
With extremely vague instructions.
What are these? Hieroglyphics?
Then you might have Insuranoia. And if you have Insuranoia, then you should get NJM. They go to great lengths to do what's best for their policyholders. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM. Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this late-night ad to make you more alert, which could help your driving. And science tells us that pulsing beats faster, stimulating audio like traveling sound, and voices on the higher, so-called brighter end of the audio spectrum like this can encourage focus. Also, a familiar tune can help, so...
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Guys, if your game plan's stuck at the line of scrimmage, it might be time to trade in the pill-popping playbook for the real playmaker, GainsWave at LifeMed Institute. No prescriptions, no recovery time, just a roster that shows up ready to play every night. Give your biggest fans something to cheer about. Schedule your free consultation at 410-575-1200 or visit lifemedinstitute.com and find out how GainsWave can make you a playmaker again. LifeMed Institute has clinics in Maryland, Delaware, and Pennsylvania. Check them out today and tell them Vinny sent you.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code GOAL to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code GOAL to borrow up to $10,000. Use code GOAL to borrow up to $10,000.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owed the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $3 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-798-4399. 800-798-4399. 800-798-4399. Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey, O's fans! Summer is in full swing, and so is the Birdland Summer Music Series presented by CFG Bank. Hit the yard on Friday, August 21st as the Orioles take on the Rays. Then enjoy a live post-game concert by 90s icons Vanilla Ice, Tone Loc, Tag Team, and Tretch from Naughty by Nature. Watch from your seat or score a field pass to get even closer to the action. Get your tickets to see I Love the 90s at Orioles.com/music.
Cordell and Ben on Fresh Take.
Yeah, I felt like we kind of targeted this second week of the preseason of him kind of ramping up into more of the action anyway. And so, I think it's why you sign guys like that is to, one, put them in the competition, Two, to have, make sure you have enough in that situation. You don't ever want to see anybody go down, but certainly feel good about the way Joe played in the game and obviously about Ethan and the way that he's played throughout his whole career.
Jesse Minter there talking about being comfortable with Ethan Posick if Danny Pinter's injury is serious, and that cut was from yesterday. We've since found out torn patellar tendon. Pinter is likely to miss the full season. Jesse Minter hasn't spoke exactly on it. That news broke right after he spoke at his presser. He didn't tell us that it was that injury, but reports have said that. And I think the reports are accurate. Anytime a guy gets carted off, you never feel good, which is why we were so damn worried about Nate Wiggins. Thankfully, he's all right. They weren't going to get out of training camp fully healthy. And you hate that it's a position that you lack, but you did add a number of guys who are probably all in that same bucket. It's not like Danny Pinter was this superstar compared to what else they had. Now, I hate it for Danny Pinter because it felt like he was leading the room. I'd expect he would have been the week 1 starting center. But at the end of the day, I'm not fully sure of that. These dudes are battling, and Jovan Gwynn is a name that has quietly, I think, moved forward in that race, even before Danny Pinter's injury. But he had been working with the ones. There was a lot of good feel for Danny Pinter to be the week 1 center, but there he's talking about Ethan Posick, and now it's a two-man battle. Jovan Gwynn wasn't a name that many people were even considering at one point. But when you bring Dwayne Ledford in, he brings Gwynn with him, so clearly there's comfortability there. He likes him. He's worked with him. He knows some stuff about him that people in the Ravens organization don't. And everything we've seen from him, not only in preseason games, but at training camp practice, he's flashed. I see the clip of Derrick Henry's long run yesterday, and that wasn't a not tackling, Vikings allowing Derrick Henry to go run. No, that was Jovan Gwynn, Vanga Ioane, Simpson, these guys opening up a hole for Derrick Henry, and he wasn't getting touched if they were fully tackling. It was a really, really good job by the offensive line there and open things up, and that was a run we've seen from Henry time and time again in Baltimore. It was one of his 50-plus yard, wide-open holes, and once you get him running for 10 to 15 yards without being touched, it's over. Call it what it is. The speed is faster than almost anybody in the league. You have issues bringing him down. Oh, you have somebody catch up to him? All right, well, take the stiff arm to the face, and you're going to fall to the ground and just look silly because you're going to have some struggles trying to get him down. Before, though, we were talking about the chippiness and not wanting to see many fights. Kyle Hamilton earlier yesterday had spoke about things being chippy, but it being a more contained practice.
That's the goal. I mean, coaches kind of have to check that box. It's kind of just checking the box, honestly. Like, at the end of the day, you don't want to fight. That's not the goal of being out here, but everybody's grown men out here, and if you feel somebody tried you a certain way and you feel like you need to do something about it, do something about it. But, I mean, it's not like that's the goal, and obviously tempers flare when there's some people not same jersey color as you, so I'm glad nothing really popped off like that.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's funny hearing him say that. Like, these guys are grown men, and you're not going to – Keon Martin supposedly threw a punch yesterday. If another grown man stands over top of you after you slip on the football field, I think you'd be pretty frustrated too. It didn't escalate. Guys ran over, broke it up. Have no issue with it. But he's right. I think it was a pretty loud talking point. And weeks ago, a week and a half ago, I believe it was, when other teams had started doing some joint practices, Jesse Minter was asked what his view was on joint practice fights. And he was saying straight up, like, I'm going to be honest, clearly I don't like fights. That being said, I understand that there's a competitiveness. A lot of these guys are competing for contracts. They're competing for spots on teams. And sometimes it can get ugly. Things can get a little bit too feisty. But for 2 days, to practice with a team multiple days and not have anything outbreak, I think that speaks to discipline. Earlier today, I saw a video of a fight at Giants practice, their joint practice. You look around the league, every team is having these complete brawls or these big-time fights. It's good to see your team be one of the more disciplined ones, just to be honest with you. So that was good. Before, we did talk about some of these younger cornerbacks having success, guys like Keon Martin making a name for themselves in the secondary. I mean, Nate Wiggins, we talk about him like he's way older. Nate Wiggins is still pretty young. Chandler Rivers, a dude who Cordell and I have spoke very highly of. We got to talk in an interview with him. If you want to check that out, you can go check the Fans YouTube channel. We have that posted on there. A pretty good interview just talking about kind of his role, his time dating back to Duke, how the first few weeks of camp have been. But Kyle Hamilton yesterday had spoke about some of these younger defensive backs showing some fire in these practices.
It's been awesome. Like Chandler Rivers, Key's key. Key's going to do what Key does. Shouldn't be shrugged off like that. But, I mean, he's been doing it all camp. He did it last year, too. And it's the reason why he was signed as an undrafted guy. He just proves himself more and more every day. Chandler, soft-spoken guy, but gets out here and makes plays. And he's as loud as Marlon. So it's great seeing guys like that. TJ, Nate, obviously coming into his own. And Malachi out there, too. We have a younger DB room, but, guys play past their age for sure.
Yeah, it's really good to hear. I said it earlier. Like, they didn't add the Trey Hendrickson of the cornerback room. They drafted Chandler Rivers a little bit later. You bring a lot of guys back. Jesse Minter has that defensive back coaching background, right? When he was in Baltimore, he was a coach in the secondary. That's always something I've kind of talked about when I speak about my comfortability with Jesse Minter and what he's going to bring to Baltimore. I go back to what he did in LA, and I know you guys are probably sick and tired of me saying it, but it was pretty damn impressive when you have a coach who had a lot of guys who were day 3 picks, and they were making plays on one of the better defenses in the NFL. Now you come to Baltimore, Marlon Humphrey is a 2-time All-Pro, and in some years has been one of the better cornerbacks in the NFL, and everybody is begging to see him to get back to that because last year was just not a good year whatsoever. Nate Wiggins, who can run with the best of them. I think there's a lot more left in the tank for Nate. I think he can be one of these better corners in the league. From what projections say, he hasn't gotten there yet. We'll see. But Chidobe Awuzie, who played a crucial role in a Bengals Super Bowl run, I know it was a long time ago, but he's going to be on a pitch count, which you like to see. TJ Tampa, is Jesse Minter finally the coach that can lock TJ Tampa into a role that we see him making plays on the field? When they drafted him, there was talk that he should have went in the 2nd or 3rd round, all of these different things, and he never was able to live up to the hype with the last coaching staff. He wasn't able to make many plays when he was on the field. But a dude with that size, the traits that he has, you would think that one of these smarter defensive minds can unlock more with him. So super happy to see Jesse Minter in Baltimore. We talk about it time and time again. And again, when you talk about, I'm not saying that this defense is fixed because I think that would be unfair to be real with you. We don't know what this defense will truly look like until week 1 and week 2 and week 3 and the game where they finally have a 31-34 game. How do they rebound? Because I think last year when these guys got in their own way, it stuck and lingered. And we heard them talk about it week after week after week. I think Jesse Minter might be the difference in taking that away. And we heard Marlon Humphrey talk about it a few weeks ago where he's like, Jesse Minter, it's the first time where I've had a coach come in and immediately address some of these elephants in the room that guys don't want to talk about, that you might be uncomfortable to bring up. Jesse Minter, according to Marlon Humphrey, attacked it right away. Got it out of the way so this doesn't linger into the season. I said it before. I think communication issues, a lot of guys pointing the finger at someone else. Never during a post-game presser or a practice presser did we hear them single a name out. But when you hear, well, yeah, certain guys are like, it just felt that nobody really knew what or where they were supposed to be quite honest with you at times. And that's when things continue to get ugly and you're only getting a tougher quarterback every week, especially when you got to play the Bengals twice, when you had to play the Chiefs early in the year, when things weren't clicking, when you start with Josh Allen week 1. That was kind of where everything went downhill, the 4th quarter there. Hopefully, again, be at your best when your best is needed. They need that. And we're getting closer to the start of football season, guys. We are getting closer. 7:45, we will get our final take, and mine's going to be back to the first 2 segments, and I'm going to talk about it because I think we need to still for any new listeners. But coming up next, what we miss. And as again, we're off. We do just one show a week, so we do miss a lot. We go around national sports, get to some bigger headlines, and we bring on Michael Pope. That's coming up next on The Fresh Take.
What happens next happens here. Baltimore Sports Radio.
That ball is out of here.
105.7 The Fan.
CFG Bank Arena is officially one of the hottest concert venues in the world with today's top artists like Olivia Dean, Casey Musgraves, Doja Cat, and Niall Horan. Visit CFGBankArena.com to get your tickets today. CFG Bank Arena, the biggest shows, the biggest names, and the best seats in Baltimore.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Dale's a loser. I play to win, like early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later.
Sound familiar, Dale?
Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Maryland. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Popeye's $5 faves menu just keeps adding your faves. Next up, butterfly shrimp. They've got that bold Louisiana kick that makes them just as crave-worthy as the chicken side of the menu. Try 8 crunchy butterfly shrimp in classic or dusted in Popeye's serious flavor seasonings. Head to your nearest Popeyes to get them now on our $5 faves menu.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
At participating U.S. restaurants, price may vary, tax extra.
Did you know that driving under the influence of marijuana is illegal? Driving high will get you a DUI. And if you're wondering if law enforcement can tell you're driving high, well, everyone else can. Friends?
I can tell you drove high.
Parents?
I can tell when you drive high.
Relatives?
I can tell. You drove here high, didn't you?
So what makes you think law enforcement can't?
I can tell.
If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high, get a DUI. Paid for by NHTSA.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46. And I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hey everyone, I am a Raven.
Me too.
And no, we don't mean the football players. We're actual ravens, like birds.
You know, wings, feathers, flap, flap.
And yes, we can talk.
Anywho, we are just gaga over these new Raven scratch-offs from the Maryland Lottery.
Yeah, you can win up to $200,000 instantly.
And great Ravens prizes.
But the real reason to play these bad boys is that my face is on them.
Looks more like your cousin Steve.
Steve? He wishes.
Play Raven scratch-offs and please play responsibly.
In Las Vegas, high stakes reveal real identity. Rolly Romero proved the doubters wrong in Times Square. And now he guards the crown. Teofimo Lopez is risking it all to prove he's still elite. 2 world-class champions on a collision course when second place isn't an option. The moment of truth arrives. Saturday, August 22nd. Watch on DAZN and DAZN on Prime Video.
Baltimore area Chick-fil-A restaurants are proud to partner with the Maryland State Fair to support food pantries in Greater Baltimore on Chick-fil-A Day at the Fair, Friday, August 28th from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Every fairgoer who brings 5 non-perishable food items will receive free admission. Help the Baltimore area Chick-fil-A restaurants beat last year's donation to support food pantries in Greater Baltimore. Rides are individually priced. Don't forget, just 5 non-perishable food items get you free admission on August 28th.
It's Fresh Take with Cordell Woodland and Ben Hall on Sports Radio 105.7 The Fan.
It's the Fresh Take with Cordell Woodland and Ben Hall. Ben Hall sitting in solo today with no Cordell. We'll be back next week, and we might have another training camp interview for you guys next week on that show. I do want to give Cordell credit. Love this song for what we missed. But again, with one show a week, we do tend to miss 6 days worth of news, and we try to get to some of the most important stuff. And for that, we bring in our producer, Mike Pope.
Starting off with college. College sports are currently facing a wave of legal chaos as multiple court rulings are forcing the NCAA to grant an extra year of eligibility, even to active professional athletes. How do you feel about the fact that professional athletes and this whole situation, that they have another option to stay another year?
I'm kind of sick of it, to be honest with you. this has gotten so out of hand, it's not even funny. There is one thing back in the athletes who played in college during COVID, they were giving an extra COVID year. And I understand that. Some of their sports were wiped out. You get an extra year. It was like a red shirt. Okay, cool. But now we have players because of you're able to sue. The judge in Louisiana granted a temporary restraining order centering around the NCAA's 5-year eligibility clock. Players are frustrated that new guys are going to get 5 years, which again, I don't know why that's a thing, but new athletes are going to get 5 years, so they're frustrated about it. Now we have players who are in the NFL, working out with NFL teams. No, I'm going to go back to the portal. I just think this is outrageous. The whole thing is once you go to the pros, and that's how it was in basketball, football, once you go to the pros, you're done. You already have gotten a paycheck. I don't know if NIL is playing a role in allowing guys to get paid, but I mean, at one point, you weren't able to have a YouTube that was monetized. And again, this is a little bit out of what's going on, but again, you couldn't even get paid off of YouTube, but now you can get paid from all these sponsors. I don't know that everybody's just getting sponsor money. I think still coming in from these schools, and some of these richer schools, there's a reason they're getting some of the bigger players, especially in the portal era, but still, Daquan Wright, he's been on the Browns practice squad. He's working out with NFL players and with coaching every single day. Now he's going to go back to the portal a week and 3 days before week 0 in college football, which I am so excited for. So we're going to talk about that more next Thursday. Football's almost here. I'm one of the bigger college football fans around. If any of you aren't familiar, college football is awesome. But to it, stuff like this is hurting the sport. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I think it's absolutely egregious. Everything you said, I agree with. First, the transfer portal, I'm cool with that. Right. I was good with the transfer portal because everybody deserves the opportunity. The only problem I have with transfer portal is if you're jumping from 4 to 5 teams, you need to. I think you need to stay personally for 2 years. That's a whole nother story. But with this, to me, the reason why it's so egregious is because, like you said, Ben, you could be practicing with NFL people that are grown men, grown coaches that have so much wisdom, so much knowledge that they could pour into you. And I feel like that's a disadvantage right there because you're doing that and then you're going back to the pros. I mean, the college, that just doesn't make any sense to me. And when you do that, I feel like you're cheating the system in just some type of way. And like you're saying, maybe some of them are doing it for NIL. But at the same time, too, you're getting paid in the NFL. If you make the team, you're getting paid. If you're going back for NIL, and you're that good for it, then the whole situation to me just does not make any sense. And with Daquan Porter, you're the Browns, just stick on the Browns. Stay on the Browns. You have another chance, another opportunity to go to another NFL team, but you already had, like you said, Ben, the redshirt year. You have a COVID year. You have all these years. The next thing I know, they're going to give people 10 years to be in college, and then they're going to be all grown up, so I don't think it's fair.
I'm with you.
Shifting gears to baseball, Ketel Marte was placed on the restricted list by the Arizona Diamondbacks after failing to show up for a game against the Boston Red Sox. His agent stated that he is managing a personal matter and undergoing a knee MRI. Is this a valid reason for him not showing up against the Red Sox?
I don't love ever getting into personal issues with players. Guys deal with a lot. I think so many times in sports, a lot of fans forget these players are human beings, to be completely honest with you. I think it's really unfair. It's unfortunate. Mental health, there are so many different things that are just kind of overlooked. And some of us just haven't dealt with some of these guys. So again, they're regular human beings. That being said, the Ketel Marte saga that felt like started last year is a little bizarre to me. And it's not just me that it's bizarre to. The team president, Derek Hall, CEO, my uncle Derek, just kidding, same last name, but no, I am not related to Derek Hall. Derek Hall said that the situation is still a complete mystery. It's just bizarre. I mean, the people around the team really don't know what's going on. They show up to Boston or at Fenway Park and he's not there, and they expected him to show up and be a DH. Then Sunday night at the hotel, supposedly, Hall said that he appeared to be just fine. He didn't go to Monday's game. and then stays at the hotel and spoke with the GM. They said Cattell was there if he wanted to talk. Then he returns back. Last year, coming out of the All-Star break, he missed time for personal reasons, and that was something that it's hard to speak on because we don't know exactly what was going on, but we heard a lot of talk that there are players in the Diamondbacks organization that are frustrated with Ketel Marte. Like, it's just very, very weird. This situation, though, to me, I don't really understand how it could possibly happen. And then he's returning because he's hurt. Did he get hurt that night in Boston and was hiding it? Like, there are so many different conspiracies and thoughts which could be the case here. And it sucks because Ketel Marte is such a talented player. Like, Ketel Marte was one of my favorite players in the league. Again, the Diamondbacks have you don't have to root against them as an Orioles fan. So when you watch them and watching some late night National League baseball, I always enjoyed watching him just because he's such an interesting bat. He smashed lefties and righties with a switch hitting ability, played a good second base, had some swagger. I like Ketel Marte. It's just some of this off the field stuff and these situations, it's incredibly concerning.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ben. It's a little bit alarming, not more so. Like, I'm like you. Your personal business is your personal business, but I'm more so on the side of the lack of communication. Yeah. Because if you were going through something, he probably is, I don't know, but it's the fact that you have to communicate better, because Torey Lovullo, he didn't even know what was really going on, because he knew that he went back to Phoenix, but he didn't know anything that was going on. So I'm imagining this whole thing in my head. I'm saying to myself, okay, he's getting an MRI. He's going through the personal things. He maybe have been able to tell him that, or whatever was going on, whatever the case is behind closed doors. I feel like it's more of a communication thing. And like you were saying, this is now the second time this has happened. This happened last year. So I could see maybe if it happened one time, but for the second time it happening, and like you saying, Ketel Marte is amazing. If you watch the Diamondbacks, I like the Diamondbacks because of who they have, Corey Carroll, Alex Sums. I like everybody that they have on there, and I've watched a lot of Ketel Marte. But you're in a spot right now, and even Torey Lovullo, he said that he needs him right now because they're trying to fight to get a playoff spot right now. So it's a desperate time for them, and it's unfortunate that it happened right around the time of them trying to fight for a playoff spot.
And that's where I'm at as well. Like, this team, when you have the team president and the manager, and like, it's less of, hey, we stand with him. It's more of like, what is going on? That's where I'm like, all right, the alarms are going off. Now they're not sticking by him. When you have the higher ups for a team who will usually just swipe things under the rug to the public because they don't want any drama, for a team that's right in the playoff race, that's where my alarms are going off.
Yeah, I agree with you, because that's the part I was saying, that it's okay if we don't know what's going on. But for your manager and everybody else to not know exactly what's going on, the dots just aren't connecting for me, honestly. Now, shifting gears to football, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive tackle Vita Vea requested a trade in late July of 2026 after the contract extension talk stalled. But since then, he has resolved the dispute by signing a lucrative 1-year, $30 million fully guaranteed contract extension that keeps him in Tampa Bay. What does this mean for him and the Bucs?
He got his way, as he should have. Great player. Now pay Baker. Get the Baker extension done. I hate when teams, and that's why I give Eric DeCosta and this Ravens front office a lot of credit. Like, it's rare that you see great talents leave the building. Occasionally there's some edge rushers who walk, and Matthew Judon's always one I go back to, where it's wanted a lot of money, they didn't really have tons of money to pay him, or they chose not to, and he goes elsewhere and has success. But for the most part, they keep their best players in the building. We don't have many issues. Vita Vea comes out, it gets ugly, requests a trade, frustrated, gets paid. And basically, it felt like, to me, the Lamar Jackson situation, where Lamar was a weird situation because Lamar, again, requested a trade, and everybody in the fan base is like terrified, including myself. And then at the end, he said straight up, like, that was a part of contract negotiations. That was to kind of speed things up, and it worked. It ended up getting him paid. Vita Vea could be the same thing. Baker feels a little different. And the Ravens and Lamar didn't let much get out. Even when things got kind of ugly, they still didn't let much get out. Baker is just straight up speaking to the media. Supposedly the Buccaneers are upset with that. So I'm very happy Vita Vea got paid. He deserves it. Very, very solid football player. But again, for me, get Baker paid. Get your quarterback who the Browns completely screwed. I'll say it time and time again. The Browns completely screwed. Get Baker paid, and then you'll feel pretty good.
Yeah, definitely agree with that one. I feel like you read my mind before we even did these questions, because that's great minds think alike. Yeah, great minds think alike, because that was the bigger story to me. That Vita Vea is a great defensive tackle. He really is. You need him on the Buccaneers, especially right now. But if he was able to do that and request the trade and everything, why is it Baker not paid? He's your quarterback. If Baker Mayfield leaves this team right now, that doesn't just hurt you a little bit. That hurts you a lot, drastically. So with this situation, I hope behind closed doors, maybe they're not sharing to the public, Ben. I don't know. But that should show me Baker Mayfield needs to get paid right away. Shifting gears to the NBA. The NBA has found no evidence showing that the LA Clippers owner Steve Ballmer funneled money through team sponsors to pay Kawhi Leonard in order to circumvent the salary cap. According to 3 people with knowledge of the discussion between the two sides in recent days, do we really believe that this is the case right now?
No. What are we doing? What are we doing here? This, to me, is exactly what I expected it to be, and I said it with Cordell and you, Michael, last week, a few weeks ago. The NBA is going to do everything they can to make this get swept under the rug and act like nothing happened. It's nothing to see here. I'd prefer to see Kawhi elsewhere and for it to be nothing, but at the same time, if I'm every other NBA team, I'm like, what the hell are we doing? This is pretty obvious. You have outside people getting information. You have people who cover it and follow it getting information, and now we're looking at it saying, there's no evidence. There's not enough evidence. Well, then why are outsiders giving us reports that this happened? I think it's a bad look for the NBA. But again, I'm not surprised, because I think the NBA wants to do everything they can to work themselves out of this and have Kawhi play in Toronto again and things be just quiet for the Clippers.
Yeah, that's all it is, really. But more so to me is, if this is going on with Kawhi, how many other players is this going on with? How many other teams is this going on with? And with the whole Kawhi situation, it's actually upsetting for me, because I'm a big Kawhi guy. I love his game, and I love everything that he contributes to the game of basketball. But yes, they're trying to sweep this under the rug. This is obvious. This isn't, they're trying to hide it and we don't know, it's secretive. No, they're trying to sweep this under the rug. And with the whole Clippers organization, it's not fair to other teams if this is going on, because other teams can now add certain players and they're getting paid under the table and they could compete for a championship. Luckily, the Clippers probably won't compete for a championship in a very long time, but this whole situation right here is not fair. If this is going on, I believe it's going on. Ben, you said you believe it's going on, and I definitely think that it's getting swept under the rug.
Yeah, appreciate it, Mike. That is it for what we missed. Again, we'll be back next week. It's just me today. Cordell Woodland will be back Thursday. And again, be on the lookout. We might have another interview. Had Chandler Rivers on last week. Might have somebody else on this upcoming week, especially with the Commanders coming to town. We'll have coverage of that. Both of us will be out there discussing what we saw, our takeaways from a Commanders joint practice. Again, as it's kind of tough getting out to Minnesota. There aren't many people from Baltimore. I know Vinny from the station is there, Vinny Serrato, and you can hear him on tomorrow with Bob Haynie, I think 10 to 11, he will be on at some point during that show to kind of recap his takeaways. But coming up next, we will wrap the show up. Final take, and again, I'll prepare you guys. My final take will be something I already talked about in depth earlier in the show, but I feel like for me, I want to keep getting to it. That's coming up next on the Fresh Take.
If you're thinking about it
every day,
we're talking about it.
That's what I'm talking about.
105.7 The Fan.
Now, the Bay Bridge spokesbirds.
Go to baybridge.com.
Spike, is that you inside a giant egg?
Otis, I'm hatching a plan to avoid Bay Bridge traffic.
Great idea, Spike. Does it involve baybridge.com?
You bet, Otis. Tell him, lady.
Hatch your plan for smooth travel when crossing the bay at baybridge.com. Get traffic info and live cameras all in one spot.
Baybridge.com. Now that's how you hatch a plan.
You know the feeling.
That rush when you reach that goal? Make somebody brag a little back home? That's success. And at University of Maryland Global Campus, we believe you should never stop chasing it. That's why UMGC offers an accredited skills-based education that helps move your career forward. We'll teach you how to apply emerging technologies like AI and data science, plus build your skills in leadership, communication, and critical thinking. Explore more than 100 degrees and certificates in business, cybersecurity, healthcare, and more. With affordable and online programs, you can unlock new opportunities to help you succeed again. At UMGC, we believe nothing should stand in the way of your next achievement. Not doubt, not your life stage, and especially not an application fee. Just apply by September 1st and we'll waive your application fee. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Why should you hire America's largest injury law firm for your case? There's lots of reasons. Just like there's a reason millions of people called us last year in their time of need. When it comes to fighting for justice and compensation, millions of people across the country trust us to go to battle for them. We became the largest injury law firm in the world for a reason. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Cordell and Ben on Fresh Take.
The Fresh Take with Cordell Woodland and Ben Hall. Wrapping this thing up soon. Again, Cordell Woodland out today. We'll be back next week as we discuss joint practice with the Commanders when we're on next week. Maybe have another guest. But we will wrap this thing up with our final take as we always do. And mine goes back to the open of this show. And something that probably is getting annoying, and I get it. It's frustrating for me. But just being there and looking at things throughout the night, I'm going to state my opinion again. The MLB is a damn joke for allowing that call to stand last night. Both ways. The fact that review didn't overturn it, and the fact that we don't have anything to tell us whether that ball was certainly foul or certainly fair in the year of 2026. It's a joke. For what reason is every other league around sports being able to figure out technology and do things to make it easier on players, coaches, umpires, and fans? And in the MLB, we can get it right with the ABS system now. We can be able to tell if a pitch missed the strike zone by that much or struck the strike zone by that much. Just caught it. But we can't figure out if a damn fly ball was inside or outside of the foul pole when it cleared it. What are we doing in the year 2026? And again, the camera angle I showed, that's a fair ball. It shouldn't even have to come down to technology telling us. But it would certainly make things easier. And it would shut either side of complainers up for some of these tight calls. It's just complete BS from the league. It's not just the Orioles that are being screwed on this. This happens around Major League Baseball. You can change other things. You can challenge certain things. Why have this why can this go to replay review if we're going to get it wrong still after? The angle looked pretty clear. And I know people are pushing that other angle. Still look fair to me. Major League Baseball is worth billions of dollars. And as Chris Bassett mentioned post-game, Why don't we have something? Why don't we have a technology that fixes this for us? Money. They don't want to pay money. Let's keep jacking ticket prices up, finding ways to make money for the league left and right. Oh, jersey prices, push them up a little bit more. Everything's getting more expensive. But we still have calls like last night in crucial games. An Orioles team who needs a win. And the reason they lost wasn't one call. The bullpen falling on its face. The offense not being able to get it going. I don't like to just blame one call. But who knows how the game wraps up if they do take a one-run lead there. I don't want to put all this on the umpires, but I just think that it's fair to give them criticism with how awful of a miss that was last night and how we are still in a situation that people have been complaining about for years. Take it back to the playoff game with Nate McLeod. Who were they facing? The Yankees. We can't get it right. And it feels like something that's pretty simple, whether they want to shoot a laser up, however they want to do it. This is something you should be able to fix. Players are in favor of it. Coaches are in favor of it. Umpires should be in favor of it. The review center, so they don't have to take heat, should be in favor of it. The league, they'll do it. Just wait till 2040. They'll get it done. At that point, it'll be there, and these games won't have mattered at that point. Whatever. Trash from the league. That'll do it for the Fresh Take. Again, we'll be back next week with a lot of good stuff. Michael will still be with us. Shout out to Michael. Great job on the board today. Shout out to the callers, the listeners. Always appreciate you guys. Did have a few people here in the live chat. Did want to give a shout out. Buck Panic, Beltway Ben. Yes, that's my nickname for anybody who doesn't listen. Beltway Ben. I talked about it a little bit earlier on the morning show. It started when I was doing traffic when I first started up here, but grinding our way to the top. Grinding our way to the top. But appreciate everybody, callers, listeners, everybody who tuned in. Couldn't do it without you. We will be back next week. Again, stay on the lookout. Interviews. Could we have a Maryland football coach come? There are some things that we have in the works for next week. It should be an exciting show. Don't change the dial, though. Stay tuned. Westwood One Sports Radio coming up next on The Fan.
Big Bad Morning Show. Vinny and Haynie. 3 Deep. Live on YouTube, Monday through Friday, 6 till 6. Search 105.7 The Fan, Baltimore. And never miss a moment of coverage on the teams you love.
Play more, win big, all summer long during Horseshoe Casino's 12th anniversary celebration. Enjoy 12 times rewards on Friday, August 21st. Then join them on Saturday, August 22nd for your chance to win a $1,200 cash prize. Either special anniversary drawing. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Sprained wrist, ankle twist. Broken thumb, can't make a fist. Busted knee, surgery.